Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your Podfather.
And I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to talk about, does WotC really care what players want? You know, do they? Or is there evidence that they really do kind of almost the opposite? We'll have some Aggro Jeff.
Yep.
And so let's get into it. Aggro Jeff, what's aggravating you?
Well, so the first one we got today is stop signs in shopping centers. So I don't understand why there's a need for a stop sign every 10 feet in a shopping center. When we see people walking across a crosswalk, we understand to stop already. The stop sign seems unnecessary. And there's so many of them.
True, but
I had to stop 7 times when going in front of a shopping center or supermarket or something.
But those are there for pedestrian safety. And while you know you're supposed to stop and you may be cognizant of it, do you think the others are?
I think there's a lot of people that don't even think they're real because people just drive right through them. And if I'm being honest, I'm tempted to, and there have been times where I'm like, there's nobody in this parking lot. I'm just going right through. Like, there's nothing here.
The one I will say is, like, I know Publix has this in some of theirs. It'll say stop if pedestrians present.
That's
next
good.
to the stop sign.
I'm game with
that. But then
that.
that makes it confusing for the ones that don't say that.
Yeah. So we need clarification. 1, what's the actual rule? 2, who stops and who doesn't? Do you pay attention to every single stop sign and stop actually 7 times at a full stop? Or do you just, if there's people, you stop. If there's no people, you don't stop. Like, if the parking lot's empty, do you stop? I want to know, what are people experiencing out there and what are we doing here?
Right.
Because I think it's crazy.
So I know you were kind of saying, well, are they even legit?
Yeah.
They are legit. They're regular stop signs.
Prove
so
it.
a cop can ticket you for not stopping.
Yeah, but
It
Woody,
can be done.
let's hear from some police officers.
I used to think that was not the case. I used to think that signs within a parking lot were the purview of the owner of the lot.
Because that's what like, what do they call it, an old wives' tale? That's like the old wives' tale, that these aren't real stop signs.
Right, but they are, because all the signs are, including handicapped, even if the business is not open.
And just so we don't get sued, you should stop at every stop sign. This is a podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. Please obey the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just a
But
bit.
separate from that, what do you do?
Yeah. But I do know that those signs are legit because I was working at a store where we were opening a new store.
Yeah.
It had never been open, brand new store.
Yeah.
Was not open to the public. And I parked in a handicap space thinking,
Sure.
we're not open. Who cares?
If a handicapped person
A
comes there, they've
policeman
made a mistake
driving
anyways.
past came and knocked on the window of the door of the building and found out who was parked there, and luckily just warned me. But yeah, it's ticketable even if they're not open.
Yeah, we've got warned here at our company too, because we'll have people park, like maybe they hurt their ankle or whatever. They don't actually have a handicap, but we're like, you can park there for a little while because we don't have someone to use up all the spaces. And yeah, we've had cops come by and be like, you can't do that. And we're like, oh, okay.
No, a handicap. So it's the same thing.
And
with
it's
the stop sign.
it's our building.
The stop signs are the same thing. Any legal sign is a legal sign, whether it's in a parking lot or on the road. Mm-hmm. But I get what you mean. They do get excessive in some of them.
Yeah, I need to get some stop signs just randomly put on my street.
Yeah. I wonder if you could pay to do that. Like if you could be like, I want to put up a stop sign.
If people complain enough, they get speed bumps, which is annoying.
Yeah.
Like when you're driving down your residential streets and like one street will have speed bumps and none of the others do. That's because they've complained enough.
Well, not all speed bumps are created equal either. While we're on that subject, like some are just like a little, okay, slow down. Yeah. And some are like, you better slow down to like 5 miles an hour. You're going to wreck your vehicle.
Yeah. And I like the ones ware spikes come up. I think those would be fun to watch.
Yeah. All right, but let's get into the magic content.
Sure.
Does WotC really care what players want? Perhaps some of these are evidence that they don't. For instance, mass land destruction, widely complained about, widely thought as a dirty tactic, not really appropriate for casual play.
Mass land destruction.
Mass land destruction.
Yeah.
And yet, Armageddon and Ravages of War have been reprinted recently.
Yeah.
And there's a new commander. This is what made me think of this. There's a new
commander. I didn't even know about
Marvel
this one.
Called Fing Fang Foom that copies a land destruction spell if it targets.
Wild. And we were surprised. Remember when they came out with that Storm secret layer, with the secret layer that had Storm in it, and there was a land destruction card in it.
Yeah.
I remember being surprised then that they even put that in there.
And
that was single target.
And there's a single target land destruction spell in Marvel, obviously in red to
For
go with this.
Fin Fang Foom, which it's targeted land destruction, so you start copying it.
Yeah.
And then it feels more like mass land destruction.
And that's very deliberate, right? Because you can already copy instants and sorceries.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't need a commander specifically just for...
So they're literally targeting go after lands.
Yeah. I mean, it's land or artifact.
Which you need something to respond to all the ways we have to get lands now.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of makes sense.
I guess so, but I mean, just going mass seems counterintuitive. Then there's Universes Beyond.
Yep.
There's been a lot of people complaining about Universes Beyond, about how jarring some of the sets feel. Some feel kind of close to Magic, and others feel very far away.
Sure, like I think a lot of people make fun of like the hot dog stand, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I've heard people say just having things take place in a real place like New York City doesn't feel right.
Right. That was a lot of that with Doctor Who. It was just like a random dude in a tie.
Yep.
And you're like, what in the world?
Yep. And Spider-Man started the New York City talk. And then in Turtles, there was stuff about New York City, so it came up again.
Yeah.
But yet, so with all the people complaining about it, half the sets this year were Universes Beyond, even though players have complained. Now, that's down from last year.
Isn't it more than half, though, by the end of the year? I think we have more Universes Beyond this year than we.
I thought it was even this year.
No, I think it's uneven this year.
We had Lorwyn, Secrets of Strixhaven, and Reality Shift were the three in universe.
Okay.
And then we have Turtles. Oh yeah, Turtles, Marvel. Yeah, you're right. Hobbit and Star Trek. So yeah, you're right. It is more. So still counterbalance. Spider-Man was hated. People did not like that set at all.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was because of Spider-Man. That's unfair to judge on Universes Beyond because that was a bad set. That was a set that was designed to be small, and then I think they added some more cards to it and made it like a complete set because people hated how, what was it? It was either War of the Machine or the Assassin's Creed was a smaller set. And
Assassin's Creed, yeah.
But I think it's unfair to blame that on Universes Beyond or Spider-Man.
Even smaller than that, though, was the Aftermath.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody liked it.
Nobody liked it.
So I think that's more likely the issue with Spider-Man, that it was rushed and not done well.
All, I mean, that's not all the complaints I hear. The other thing I hear is like the New York thing and the bagel with schmear. And
but I feel like if it was a banger of a set, people would complain less.
Maybe, but Turtles was a pretty good set. There was very good cards.
It was, and they banked on people our age being excited about it. But, I mean, look, I watched Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, but I don't care about it now as an adult.
Right. Well, many people did, but those were specifically like I like Ninja Turtles. The pre-release for that was definitely smaller at my shop that I go to than previous ones.
Yeah, I think they missed the mark on it. I think they thought it would be more popular, but
some of that also could be because they took the promos out. There wasn't real promos.
What do you mean?
I mean, so you used to in your pre-release kit get a special stamped promo card.
Yeah.
And now it's just a foil rare.
I mean, could be, but the set in general wasn't received very well, even separate from the pre-release, right?
But even though there's very good cards in it, it has a lot of. I mean,
I bought a few out of it.
Yeah. And then Marvel Superheroes reportedly had low turnouts for pre-release. Now some of that's hearsay, but at my store, again, even less than Ninja Turtles, and Marvel's way more popular than Ninja Turtles.
Holiday weekend, middle of summer, like there are other mitigating factors there for pre-release.
Possibly, but if it's a really good set, it doesn't matter. They've had releases on Halloween weekend, and they're still.
I mean, the art is good. The cards don't seem that bad. We'll have to see how it recovers. But, I mean, when you have Spider-Man into Ninja Turtles, you're working uphill to have Marvel do well.
Yeah.
Because people are already disappointed. Remember how well... What was the set that came out right after... a good example. So, Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy came out, banger of a set, well worth it. All the cards, all the packs worth money, right? So all the scalpers went crazy for Spider-Man, right? It wasn't even good, and they were like, whoops, they really screwed up because it wasn't worth as much. But there wasn't that that carried, even though Spider-Man didn't do great with like us players, it carried it.
Right.
There was some positive momentum.
The initial sales
Yes.
was through the roof, but that's because of scalpers.
So for Marvel's not going to have that because people are disappointed, and then Marvel. And actually, I think people, because the in-universe sets have done so well, I think that's good for Magic, actually, that the in-universe sets are outshining.
Well, it's good for them if they listen. And
If they listen to what?
If they listen to those numbers and say, hey, the in-universe is doing great, let's dial back on the universes beyond.
Well,
but if they say, we don't care, we're going to double down.
Or make it better. Like, for instance, we talked about Spider-Man was not done well. I don't think Turtles was a good idea, personally. I think that was a miss. Like, I don't know. It doesn't. Today, there isn't a lot of calls for Ninja Turtles. I just don't see it out there. Sort of like we talked about earlier about Secret Lair on doing Garfield. Like the Garfield cards are still available, and yet the Cats deck sold out in like 15 minutes, you said, or something. So I just think they missed there. I think they could just do the in-universe better.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Maybe because they're, I mean, the out-of-universe, the UB, the universe beyond. The in-universe, they've been killing it, though.
I mean, it's been good. Lorwyn Eclipse was okay, but
it was pretty
Strixhaven
cool.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Edge of Eternities was fantastic.
Yeah, well, a lot of people said they didn't like Edge of Eternities. I think it's one of the best sets, dude.
Yeah,
That thing is
it was
awesome.
very good. And then another thing here on the Universes Beyond that I think leads me to believe they still are going heavy in it. They said, they claimed this year that there were, and last year were abnormalities because of licensing deals that had to be done right then, right? Mm-hmm. But they're very quiet on what's coming out next year. Last year at Vegas, they announced like 3 of the next year's sets and at least kind of teased them.
Yeah.
This year, nothing.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if because they want to see how this year finishes out, but we'll sort of see.
They'll have to announce it before the year finishes out.
I wonder if a lot of this has to do with like you have your more casual collectors, which I don't know how I could be considered casual. But let's just pretend for a second I am, and you tend to be the more, certainly less casual because you buy stuff from every set, right? I think that you are way more rare than me. And then there are people even more rare. Like I'm pretty normal as a collector. Like I'm in the top echelon of collectors still. I don't think most people have $25,000 collections of Magic cards.
Right. Yeah.
So the reason why I'm saying this because I'm getting to the point everybody's like, what's he trying to say? So with the way you collect, you're looking for every set to be good. I think what Marvel's doing is they realize that most people WotC are not buying sets every time. If they can get people excited about one set a year, that's huge, or even one set every 2 years. Because like the amount of money I'm going to spend on Star Trek is going to be crazy. So, and that's all they need from me. They didn't need me to buy the whole year. They needed me to buy here and there to support the secondary market from the people who buy packs and resell them. And then they need me to buy some when I get excited. And I wonder if that's what they're doing with this.
I mean, maybe. But my point is, vocally, fans are like, we don't want more Universes Beyond. We want less.
Well,
and they're not even saying we don't want any. No, but a lot. Like a lot. When I was at MagicCon, where you have to think that those are the most involved fans. They paid a lot of money to go to MagicCon.
They're the most involved fans, but they might only be 20% of the bucket.
Maybe, but there were boos when they started talking about Marvel.
Again, if WotC knows the numbers. Whether they care about what we like or not doesn't matter. What they do care about is their bottom line and making money.
Well, for instance, let's talk about Final Fantasy. We know somebody who bought Final Fantasy who didn't play Magic and started playing Magic just because they love Final Fantasy.
And probably won't play very much Magic in the future.
Right. Yeah. But that probably happens with a lot of these. There's
Correct.
probably people that bought Ninja Turtles because they like Ninja Turtles.
That's right.
So that inflates their numbers, but you still have to you still have to gear things for your player base or the game will die. You can't count on outside buyers because then if your inside buyers start rotting away and they're unhappy, those outside buyers are not going to keep Magic going.
But I wonder if they understand that to some degree the inside buyers are always unhappy.
I mean, that is true.
Like, so
that
they're
is the
like,
other side.
I mean, that's just, you're going to keep playing the game because you like the game. We got to sell cards. And now they have to decide, why didn't Spider-Man sell well? If they come to the conclusion that it's because it was Universes Beyond, they'll probably cut back. But I think what the conclusion they're going to come to is that it was poorly done. They made mistakes. Turtles was a bad choice on Universes Beyond. And then Marvel suffered because of two like, remember when TV shows used to have ratings that we paid attention to? And if you were like the 8 o'clock slot, but there was a crappy show at the 5 and 6, the numbers of the 8 o'clock show suffered. So a lot of times that 8 o'clock show would tell the studio, you got to give me a better run-up show.
Yeah.
Because I want to catch the watchers from that show into my show. Same thing going in these sets. Like, it's a bad setup. Marvel was set up to fail with Spider-Man and
that's
the Ninja
very
Turtles.
possible. I'm just talking about what people talk about openly, about wanting less Universes Beyond, to the point that Wizards, who does not often respond to anyone, did make a comment and say, hey, we do understand this was a licensing thing. That's why you've seen so many the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to change.
I don't think so either.
It'll be 50% every year because I think they understand. Like the people saying they don't like these, I don't know if I buy it. To be honest with you, I don't know that I buy
I can
it.
tell you. So I do like them.
I
right?
like them. Yeah.
But I still, when I'm building, have a problem putting some of these sets in my decks.
Yes, you do have to think like, this is a Spider-Man card. Does it fit the theme?
I mean, I don't want Spider-Man in my Jin Gataxias deck. It doesn't feel right.
Right. Although you can look for art that is less
there's some
Spider-Man.
and like the Chameleon is one that I think doesn't look too jarring and
Right.
can go, even though he's wearing a suit, it's not. It doesn't scream superheroes. It doesn't scream Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It doesn't, So, that to me is fine.
And Kamigawa Neon Dynasty had a lot of stuff that could be jarring, and people didn't have a huge fuss with that either.
Yeah. I mean, I went out and got the subscription to PSA Magazine so I could have the Thanos Swords Plowshares.
Which is super awesome.
And then I got it, and I go, well, this is going in a deck, but what deck? So it's going in a Marvel deck.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think people are really just complaining to complain, to be honest with you.
I mean, maybe, but my point is they're complaining
about.
And WotC's doubling down on it. They say they're doing less, but I bet you, like you said, I don't think like next year will be any less.
No, it won't be. And if they can get the right deals, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because The Hobbit's going to be powerful. I think Star Trek's going to bring... I know there's people that are like sci-fi, because there's always been this like sci-fi versus fantasy thing. And I've always been like, why does it have to be one or another? I can like both. Why can't you like both? But Star Trek is going to bring a different group into Magic. And believe it or not, it might be really good for Magic, because some of those sci-fi guys out there who aren't as big into fantasy, this game is super fun. It's analytic. It's thoughtful. Star Trek fans tend to be pretty thoughtful, analytic. They enjoy story and character development, but they also enjoy like puzzles.
Yeah, logic
which
puzzles
fits really well into Magic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and then the last topic was Secret Lair. That's another thing where people have complained about different aspects of Secret Lair.
Yeah.
And WotC seems determined to do the opposite of whatever anybody's complaining
This
about.
is where I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I have no disagreement with you here. I think I'm done with Secret Lair, to be honest with you.
I mean, people complain about lack of product.
Yeah.
And certain ones, like they were with Deadpool, people were surprised there was still a lot left.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the exception to the rule. Everything that's come out, the Goblin deck, the Cat deck, they have sold out within 15
But
20
we
minutes.
caused this. Like, we, the fan base, caused this.
Yeah.
Because we complained, everybody complained about
How long it was taking
print
to
to
get the
demand,
print on demand.
right? But that's what we should go back to. That's the answer. Because would I wait 3 months to go ahead and get the Secret Layers that I really wanted? I'd wait a year.
Well, at this point,
I can't get them
at this
all.
point, if you can't get it versus waiting a year, I'd rather wait a year.
Yeah,
But people at the time were saying, I'd rather not get it than have to wait.
I
a
don't
year.
know if we can go back and look at the tape, like go back to the tape.
Don't just go into this willy-nilly knowing that this is how things run and thinking, oh, I can be 5 minutes late. I'm sorry, you probably can't on these big ones. thinking I don't have to sign in. No, you do. You're going to be in line for over 2 hours. It's not going to save your card.
And also prepare more time. I made that mistake. It almost hurt me. Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea that this would take an hour and 30 minutes to buy.
I did tell you could be in line for over an hour.
Yeah, I just didn't believe you.
Yeah, well.
So, because that seemed ridiculous, but it was true. That's
But-
part of your 20%.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Louise.
But it is a mess. They have fixed the one glitch. Hopefully they fix the second glitch before the next big secret lair. Hopefully they fix their internal stuff that they did wrong, such as allowing a 10 limit. There is no legitimate need for a single player to have 10 sets when you have such a limited amount. That is unfair. You are deliberately doing it so that resellers can get it.
Oh, 100%.
But I remember saying early on, we were going to regret being upset about it taking too long.
Yeah.
So here we are.
You know, they have low value reprints through most of the secret layers. You know, they throw in the Monastery Swift Spear all the time. They have these, very low 25 cent, 15 cent, 10 cent cards that they're putting in secret layers.
Yep.
People complain about it.
But some of those cards are good because you end up building a bling deck, which, we'll talk about one day. And what ends up happening is those 10 set cards in their special art go great in them because they're good.
It is cool to have
it's not that bad.
But they're not staples. They at least print all the staples first.
Yeah, I could see that, but I do think I wish they would go back to print on demand. And I don't want to say I told you so, because honestly, that's not strong enough. So instead, I'll just say I am 100% right, and you should listen to me more.
Right. Yeah. But the question is WotC doing that, or is WotC just doing whatever they want and kind of ignoring what the players want?
I think they plan out so far that making so they're a big organization, and when we talk about this in our company is when you're going to move a ship, the bigger the ship is, the bigger the turn is.
Yeah, you have to make little tiny turns
it's
to make
harder
one
and harder, and it takes longer, and it takes more effort and more energy. So I'm guessing even if they want to make a change right now, it's 6 months to a year before we see that change. Now, I don't know what the challenges of print to demand are for the printing itself, but I would assume as a business, if you could get your customers to agree to buy something and then you only have to print the exact number of who bought, that's ultimately better for any business, and I don't know why you wouldn't go back to that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what their deals with the printers are.
I mean, but there's also the FOMO. If you go to print on
Fear of
demand,
missing out.
there's no FOMO.
Well, I mean, there is. It's still a limited run.
Right.
Okay? So you've got to buy it now. Otherwise, you can't buy it again. Although they just reprinted the Marvel Secret Lair cards in Marvel with cool art. And I feel like that's a dangerous precedent.
Well, I will tell you they are very, very rare.
It doesn't matter how rare they are. They're
I saw
still
one,
available.
I think I saw 2 of those reprints. And I saw a guy open a case of collector boxes.
Yeah.
And I only saw 2 of those reprints.
Maybe that's good. But what I don't want to see them reprinting, even if it's in different, like printed in the standard. If you've made a secret layer or something, it shouldn't be available in a cool skin.
I was afraid they were going to reprint the Doctor Strange counterspell that I got from...
they've done a lot of counterspells, I think, at this point, haven't they? Yeah.
But, anyway. But so, if they really care, who knows? They don't show it. You know what I mean? They don't show they care. We could say that safely. They don't... If they wanted to show they care, they could come out and say things like, hey, we're hearing you, but remember, it's going to take a year or 2 to make these changes because we planned things out so far ahead. Hey, we're hearing you. We're working on some changes to Secret Lair. Hey, we're hearing you.
I think they have said some of that stuff.
Not really. In fact, when they made a comment a couple months ago about the quality problems in Secret Lair, people were shocked because they never speak to anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, they're actually addressing it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who's over there with their team and what their desire to communicate is. I don't know who controls that. So, I mean, it's interesting to me. I think at the end of the day, we do know that they care about the money that has to be reported.
Oh, that's 100%.
So, well, what that means, though, is if you want to change their mind, change it with your pocketbook. Like, you can't be like, oh, I hate Universes Beyond, and then buy all of it. And you're like, well, I'm missing out. Okay, well, either have principles or don't. So, or shut up. You have a choice.
Yeah, there's a few
Like,
choices.
don't keep whining about it, though, if you're not going to do anything. And then once you've done the thing that you can do, which is talk with your pocketbooks, we don't all need to hear about it. You communicated what you needed to. You talking about it on the internet isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to pay attention to who buys stuff. Period. End of story.
And they absolutely will pay attention to that.
Yep.
But the problem is how much is supported by A, scalpers who don't care about the game, B, people who are just in it for the Universes Beyond topic of
But
the day.
scalpers learned a good lesson from Spider-Man.
They did, but
and
they're
they
still out
backed off. Yeah.
there. But actually, Spider-Man was one of the best things that ever happened to us to
Yes.
fight scalpers.
Yeah.
Because they got burned hard.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But why did they get burnt? Because none of us bought the stuff on the secondary market. Now, you could say because it's not good, which is probably why, because at the end of the day, nobody has any, we don't really have the discipline to not buy. But the reality is, if we wanted to, like, make the scalpers who bought Turtles suffer because we don't agree with Universes Beyond, if you don't buy from the secondary market, scalpers are go away.
And scalpels.
Scalpels. You gotta get them scalpels.
But anyway, well, it's an interesting topic. You know, the fact that they're silent on so much is what leads to speculation like this. Like I said, I think more communication, whether or not they care,
Yeah.
they don't have to come out and say, "Hey, we don't care."
Where
about you."
nothing is said, people will fill it in.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I think in any instance of what's going on with them, more communication with their fans would be better. Because
Yeah,
I don't think
I don't understand why they don't. To be 100% honest with you, I don't know why they don't. They must not have much of a budget for customer service.
Well, and like you said, though, people always complain. I wonder if some of it may be, no matter what we say, somebody's going to be upset. If we say we're going to print less Universes Beyond, people are going to be upset on that like the Universes Beyond. If we say we're going to print more, the people that don't like it are going to be upset.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess no matter what they say, people are going to get upset. So I guess they're like, it's just cheaper to say
It
nothing.
could be that, but there's certain topics I think they should speak out on more. But anyway, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you guys for joining us. I want to thank Tim, our editor.
Yeah, Tim.
Appreciate you. Really have helped us out. If you want to find us, you can find us youtube.com/@commanderspod. You can email us cast@commanderspod.com. You can go to our website, commanderspod.com. Patreon.com/commanderspod if you want to support us, help us make more episodes. You can find us on all the podcast sites, Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, etc., etc. Remember, Spotify does have video now, so it's the second place you can find us video. Woohoo! Even just clicking the subscribe button on YouTube or sharing it with somebody who likes Magic but maybe hasn't seen our show.
More people need to see my shiny forehead.
Yeah,
let's get
absolutely.
it done. Yeah.
And maybe we should make it Klingon for when Star Trek comes out.
Oh yeah, put some ridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruffles has ridges.
I keep getting aggravated. I'll make my own ridges.
As always, play bold, swing wide. Don't forget to pay the one.